All right, we had to come back again because we had some connectivity issues, but we are live. So, welcome to my show, Meera. Let's just start. Good. We're gonna talk about yoga and breath work today. We are with Meera Sathyamurthy. She is a psychologist, life coach, and counselor of adolescent and practice yoga and breath. Welcome to my show.
Thank you, Pantia.
Yes. Okay. Let me know about yoga and breath work. Why do you think yoga is great for breathing?
For yes, first and foremost, I want to just give an introduction in terms of what happens in asthma. Where asthma is about panting, as in Greek, and what happens in asthma is the airway, the bronchial airway, it becomes very hyperactive. The muscles, the smooth muscles, become very hyperactive because of the allergens that get into, and there are many factors which I'm going to discuss. So, and the second reason is the way inflammation of the airways happen. What happens is the airway gets inflamed because of these allergens, and then the sensitivity part gets triggered, and there is mucus formation, and there is a swelling of the muscles, and the airway passages to the alveoli in the lungs get constricted, and hence that's the reason why people with asthma have shortness of breath, and they have wheezing, and they have cough, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, when it comes to yoga, yoga is in Sanskrit, yoga is huge, means join. It's about disciplining of the mind, body, and the intellect part. That is the essence of yoga. Now, yoga has many components, and we have to bow to Patanjali's sage Patanjali, who was there in the second century BCE to fourth century CE. That's the dates which they have fixed for him. And there are many components which he has proposed. But for the sake of asthma, I'm going to talk only about three aspects. The first aspect is about the postures. Postures means it's about exercise, and postures do not come just with exercise, it comes with breathing. So when it comes to yoga, it's
Mira,
all.
sorry, do you want to show your presentation
Yes,
or?
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, okay. I'm going to go. Okay, you're good now.
Can you see this?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
So
You can go to full screen if you want.
yeah, I think so. I'll go to the full screen. See, this is the airway that I was talking about: secretion of mucus, constriction, and swelling of the membranes. So this is how it looks. This is the alveoli part in the lungs. And the airway passage to this alveoli is now expanded here. In normal airways, this will be this broad. But when it comes to asthma, the mucus gets segregated, the tube is constructed, and there is inflamed airways. And inside the alveoli also there are air bubbles. That's the reason why we won't get full oxygen supply. The oxygen saturation actually reduces. So now, when it comes to yoga, we are talking about three things. One is postures. There are different postures. Around 84 postures are present actually. But we are talking only about, uh, we have segregated into five sections. One, they are forward bending, backward bending, lateral stretch, twisting, and inversions.
Sorry,
What?
Mira, can you go to a slideshow and show the slides only?
Yeah,
On the top, there is a slideshow.
yeah,
Did you find it?
yeah, I know. I have it here. Can you see this?
I still see the PowerPoint, but if you go to a slideshow, then we can have a bigger picture of this.
I have actually shown the slideshow.
But here I don't have a slideshow. That's why. That's
Oh,
fine.
right. Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Fine.
So,
So you go back to those postures with
okay,
5 postures. Yeah,
yeah. This you cannot
previous.
see.
Yeah,
This
I can
you,
see it. Go back
yeah,
two previous slides.
yeah. This one. Can you see
Two
this?
pre- if you go to the previous one, no, I can see benefits of postures. Go back to two previous one.
Okay, you wanted me to go to this one. This one?
I can only see benefits of postures. Okay, you can
Uh,
continue. Go ahead.
okay. So, what happens in postures is the postures are either forward bending or backward bending. So, when you see this, what happens in forward bending and backward bending is it enables the body to actually expand the lungs, chest, thoracic part, larynx, ribs, everything, and that's when actually the breathing happens properly. So in asthma, what happens? It's about hyperventilation. There's too much of breathing. There's so much of carbon dioxide which is saturated, and there's very little of oxygen. But through these postures, what happens is it enables the respiratory organs to expand, and then you are able to breathe. So these postures comes with inhalation and exhalation. So there is a proper oxygen supply to the body, and the body functions properly. The muscles are become flexible, the lung muscles becomes flexible, the nervous system gets toned because of these postures, and there is a proper breathe in breathe out rate with great volume of oxygen going into the system. And in the process of exhalation, there's a lot of toxins that get removed, and the cardiac muscles also function very well for the blood to enter into right ventricle without any strain. So these are the uh, positive aspects of how it works with postures and breathing. The second component of yoga is about cleansing. Cleansing is something to do
Sorry, I don't have the cleansing um, here. What I have is only benefits of postures here.
here. Can you see this?
No, I think you shared the wrong screen.
um,
Yeah, I can see it now. I what I can see is slide 19.
Slide 19.
Yeah,
Yes,
go
that's what
back.
I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so before I went go to cleansing, I want to one more aspect. There is one inversion posture. If you see here,
Yes, I
okay,
can see it. Go ahead.
can see this, right? So in the inversion posture, what happens is normally when we are sitting, standing, our when we breathe, the breathing happens and the oxygen enters only into the upper lobe of the lungs. The lower lobe never gets proper oxygen unless we do conscious deep breathing, which none of us will be able to do unless we get into this yoga exercise. So when you invert during this inversion position, the lower lobes of the lungs will get proper oxygen supply, and the ventilation is proper, and the mind becomes calmer, and the body gets healed naturally. So these are the benefits of the postures actually. But sometimes what happens, especially in case of asthma, the cleansing is required. Cleansing is are consists of three types for asthma. One is water therapy. Here, a saline warm water is used, which is uh, through the, if you observe, there is one can through which the water goes. It's specifically made for this cleansing. So you open the mouth, you'll be breathing normally through the mouth, and the water enters from the left to the right. What happens is all the mucus, everything gets removed, the sinus gets cleared, the nerves get stimulated and gets toned, and in the process there is a lot of a clearing up of the air passages. This happens, and then the plus point of this is it desensitizes the hyperactive muscles of the respiratory organs. And when there is dryness in the nose, this regulates the humidity part also. The second thing is 12-inch string is inserted into the nose. This clears the sinuses and then removes all the diseases above the shoulder and stimulates the nerves. The third one, which is very essential for asthma, is called as Baman Dauti. Dauti is it's purging basically. It's one of the elephant's mechanism. You in early morning, empty stomach, you take saline water and then you try to purge it out using your fingers. What happens is all the impurities, toxic elements, phlegm, mucus, undigested particles, everything comes out. And this is the mechanism typically used by elephant to clear its system. So this also improves the pulmonary disorders like bronchitis and bronchial asthma. The last thing is the component about is in yoga is about breathing. We call it as pranayama. Prana is oxygen, the vital energy, the one which is very much required for the functioning of our body and mind. And any discrepancy of this oxygen supply is what leads to our health issue. So the rhythmic way is what is required to maintain the vitality and calmness and good health of the body. The pranayama is ayama is to stretch in Sanskrit. It is about prolongation of inhalation and exhalation. Normally, we don't do deep breathing. We just breathe very, very shallow breathing is what we do. So this is conscious breathing, and scientifically it improves, energizes the body, etc. We'll see how it does. Basically you'll have to sit in this position because this balances the feet to head, and it also produces neuromuscular imbalances are corrected between from the brain till the toe. And the inhalation is conscious and rhythmic and deep, and the exhalation is about removing impurities from the body. Now, the exhalations are usually longer than the inhalation. We have to consciously do that, because the reason for that is during this inhalation and exhalation, what happens is the automatic nervous system contains two parts. One is sympathetic nervous system and another is parasympathetic sympathetic. The sympathetic one controls body stresses. So whenever you meet with an you are undergoing stress, you meet with an accident or some traffic, some vehicle comes in your way, then the sympathetic nervous system gets stimulated. Parasympathetic nervous system is actually the one which rests your body and activates the relaxation response of the body. Now, when the exhalation is slow, it's actually triggering the vagus nerve that runs from the neck to the diaphragm, uh, and stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. So the relaxation nervous system is activated, and the stress nervous system is actually deactivated in this whole process. That is the essence of elongation of exhalation and deep inhalation and exhalation, which the breath work focuses on. And
So this way we know that exercise, how exercise is important for breathing, and how yoga can improve or asthma healing. I never use yoga. I use because I have a little bit asthma, but is not only for supplements. I knew that breath work is very important, especially when you connect it to yoga. And I see
yes,
different positions here. That's interesting because what I see is mostly about the stretch. When you stretch it, and then
yes,
you have broader lung to absorb the air. Yes, go ahead.
So I have some evidences and also to show you that yoga can be it can be adopted, and the medical intervention get reduced in when you practice breathing and yoga postures and breathing. Okay, so for there are three important breathing. One is Udayi, where it's about throat. You inhale deeply and then you exhale through your throat, making a noise of a C. If you hear me, you can hear, you will notice that deep inhalation and exhale making noise in the throat. This actually clears up the entire respiratory system, in fact this is very useful for even for thyroid problems as well. And then there is the important one is nadi shodhana, where you inhale through your left and exhale through your right. And then
Which sorry, which slide you are in? I can see. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
25th.
Mhm.
Okay. So here what happens is in Nadi Shodhana, Nadi is the system, the nose system where which we actually activate. Okay, you inhale through your left and exhale through your right by closing the left, and similarly inhale through the right and close the right nostril and exhale through the left. This is one cycle. The right side of the nose is called as Surya Nadi, which is sun, which means when you can actually feel it. You close your left nostril, breathe in through the right, and when you exhale through your left, you feel the warmth of the air which is going out. So what happens is people in Himalayas, adaptability to change is very important, right? See, it could be allergens, or it could be anything, hypersensitivity, or it could be stress, or any of these factors, but we cannot live in a system where these are not there basically. So to adapt to the system, we need to build this immune system, and we need to desensitize ourselves with this. So these are the breathing exercises which helps us keep our body warm, especially for asthmatic people. The right nostril breathing is very important.
Go
And
ahead.
yeah, and to show you about the endorsements and research that has happened, there is one publication in British journal where Dr. R. Nagaratna and Dr. H.R. Nagendra have published. They are the yoga exponents in India. They have done research. They have taken 53 pairs of people, same age group, same asthma severity, and same sex, all 53 pairs. 53 of them were subjected to medicine. If you observe this drug score, you can see high on the left hand side. And with yoga, after yoga, you see the medicine effect coming down in this slide. Similarly, when it comes to severity, same set of people, the severity wise with medicine, it drops down. Okay. But after yoga, you can see there is a significant drop in terms of the severity of the asthma aspect as well. And then especially for children, if it is inculcated in very early in the stage, there's absolutely cure, 100% cure, where there will be off medicine. If you look at the saturation of oxygen in hemoglobin and the eosinophil is the component in blood which goes up whenever there is infection or inflammation. So you can see that with yoga, the eosinophilic count has actually dropped. So these are all the research results which have been published for yoga and breathing.
Okay, interesting. You've been in page 35 before.
Yeah, I'll get back to that.
Yeah, I could see page 35.
Yeah, see this one, right? Sectional breathing, and
Oh,
then I
yes, yes.
went into this Ujjayi and Nadi Shodhana or something. And there's one more called Bastrika. This is also very helpful breathing exercise where you inhale slowly and then repeatedly exhale, very quick inhalation. For example, if you can hear me, I'm inhaling.
Mm-hmm.
That is rapid exhalation. Okay, that is about the prefrontal part of the brain gets stimulated with this kind of breathing. What happens with this? The first and foremost, the nerves get stimulated, and as usual the respiratory passages get cleared, and then all the allergens and other bodies get expelled from the system. And then there is improvement in flexibility of the diaphragm and the lung capacity to hold more oxygen. So we increase the number of such exhalations up to, like, some people do it with one inhalation, deep inhalation. Some people will go up to 500 exhalation, 500 counts exhalation. Okay, so that builds the immune system basically. And so this is one of the these are the three breathing exercises which are very very relevant to asthma, but there are many breathing exercises which are good for, in general, the tone of keeping the tone of the body. So these are the summers, to summarize in terms of yoga and breathing: the chest, lung, respiratory organs open up, the flexibility of muscles improve, the nervous system gets toned, and we are able to remove toxins easily which otherwise would have accumulated, and there's a proper breathing rhythm that is set in with volume control. So the oxygen saturation is very high in this kind of breathing. So these are all the systems which, now what are the factors which affect asthma? It could be genetics, it could be allergens like dust, pollen grains, etc. Or it could be hypersensitivity of immune system, or it could be stress or psychological problems where it's not, we have not been able to express uh, openly, or it could be obesity, or it could be due to side effects of beta blocker medicines. Now with yoga and breathing, we have removed almost all the factors which are going to trouble the system. Sometimes this asthma, for some people, the it could, there is some modulation which is required. As I said, you will have to keep your body warm, do warm up exercises, and then get into yoga and breathing so that the system is warmed up before all these exercises and breathing happen, so that the coldness or coolness which generally affects some very minor percentage of people will be taken care. So the overall uh, asana for complete is Surya Namaskar. This is sun salutation. It consists of 12 postures with breathing. So even if you do 24 to 32 of these of these exercises cycle, that will take care of the entire system. All you need to do is you have to spend 20 minutes every day.
I see. So, how many left? We
Sorry.
have how many poem?
No,
How
I
many?
think I've covered the summary of it.
Okay,
So if
great.
there are any questions, I can take.
Okay, thank you so much. So, in overall, can
Yeah.
you, in a very simple language, can you summarize all the breathing techniques here you taught?
The breathing techniques that I spoke about is, to summarize, the postures are: one is um, Ujjayi. Ujjayi is something where I do a deep inhalation
Mm-hmm.
and then I make a sound through the throat. Can you hear the sea breeze kind of
Yes,
sound?
yes.
So that is something which actually clears up the passage of the throat. We are talking about the entire respiratory system, right? So we then the thoracic breathing is about nadi shodhana. We keep the finger like this, open the left, breathe out, this is left to right, right to left, where the thoracic cavity, chest, everything we should keep in expanded position. Abdomen will swell up when we are inhaling, and when we are exhaling, it has to shrink, it has to go down. So it is diaphragm breathing, diaphragm and chest breathing happens here.
I love these slides and I love your presentation. We had some disconnectivity in the beginning, but that's fine. I will
Sorry about
upload
that.
this one. No worries. So if you have any recommendation or any, let's say, last words about people who are struggling with asthma, what do you suggest? If somebody come to you and ask you to help, what do you suggest?
My suggestion is, if since people are little skeptical when they approach, I would still suggest go ahead with your medicine, but for 2 more weeks, but start doing yoga and breathing right from today. So you can afford to spend 15 minutes of breathing, 15 to 20 minutes of only breathing exercises, and then another 15 minutes of posture exercises, because you need flexibility of the muscles. You need to make the respiratory system ready for breathing. You have to make it flexible. You have to make things easy for breathing. So if you do that, then you measure, then you stop, reduce your medicines after 3 weeks. Okay, then you can yourself feel the difference. This is what I recommend.
Thank you.
So
I'm gonna take your recommendation and start breathing with your techniques. I love that.
please do. I have given all the contact now details about myself. So
Yeah, I'm
anybody
gonna
has
add
any
your
questions?
contacts. Yeah, you have your phone number 991. You are from India, right?
Yeah,
Nine
right.
four four 8820 628. If you are listening to the podcast, and you also have the best way to catch you is your email address meera.satyamurthy@gmail.com, and you also have a Facebook, Meera Satyamurthy. Thank you so much, Meera.
Thank you.
Please subscribe to Quanta Calho Transition channel and order my book The Gap in Amazon. Thank you for watching.